It's a
This
whole
is what it
bunch of
is. It's a
things.
bunch of whiners who
It's
are
a
all saying
bunch
to
of
themselves,
weenies.
I don't want to work hard and I just want my mom and dad's help and I don't want to have to pay. And speaking about Quebec,
Yeah.
the temporary foreign workers, all right?
Oh, okay.
So I feel like Quebec they get away with things a little bit easier than everyone else. You know what I mean? Like if Toronto was like, we don't want the foreigners, everyone would be like, those Toronto people are racist,
Well, because they understand it. It's in English.
right? If the people in like Alberta were like, we don't want the foreigners, they'll be like, you hicks.
Yeah.
You don't want the foreigners? Like, what's wrong with you, right? But in
Yeah.
Quebec, they're just like, we don't want the foreign workers anymore. They're taking our jobs. Our unemployment rate's starting to go up. And the government's like, yeah, we better ban temporary foreign worker permits in those cities and other cities where the unemployment rate's
Is
higher
that
than
what happened?
6%. Yeah. And Quebec's just like, good. Yeah, keep them out of here. We need our jobs.
That's how it should
Because,
be.
well, I mean, if anybody else says it, it's kind of like taboo. But when Quebec does it, Quebec has just got a free
Yeah.
reign of doing whatever they want over there.
Yeah,
They're
because
just
they're
like,
known
listen,
as being
push.
rude.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with them protecting their own culture. So they've kind of got their they're not afraid to be able to stick up for their own rights. That's what it is.
They have definitely been protecting their own culture for quite some
Yeah.
time. So I guess
So they're
if
like,
anybody
listen,
wants
this is
to,
what's good for us. So we don't
yeah,
care what everybody else does or what they think. We're trying to protect ourselves. And so a lot of people are talking about things right now. There was an article that talked about students, university students now having a hard time paying for school and needing help from mom and dad.
yeah, because they can't get part-time jobs.
That was one of the reasons is a lot of the part-time jobs were taken from temporary workers.
Yeah.
But like, is that any different from when you and I were
Yeah.
university age?
Totally different. There was
Really?
totally different.
Really?
Really.
So what? Everybody
I'm
when you
not,
back in 19 something when everyone was going to university in your age, last century, um, the people were like, "Oh, I can just get a summer job and pay for my school. It's no big deal."
yeah,
I don't know anybody who did that.
all the time. You could work at anything, a restaurant, at like
Yeah, I
anywhere.
didn't. Well,
But I'm 10 years older than you.
I'm
It
in
was probably different.
I'm a millennial.
But
I'm
like
in the
what I
millennium, the
can,
new millennium here.
and this is my perspective. Maybe it's different for other people that grew up around here. I don't know, but I remember like if I wanted a job, I would drive around with my resume until I got a job, and I would have a job by the end of the week for sure. Right? 100% at Pizza Hut or
uh,
the Colonels or wherever the
yeah,
fuck.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you didn't care.
yeah,
Nowadays, I go tell my kid to go get a job at the Colonels at Promenade, and he'll go say,
yeah,
you know what? It's okay. I don't need a job. Right?
yeah.
Right? I
Well, how
wanted
does that have to do with the job market as much as it has to
but
do
hold on
with
a sec.
what?
That's here. But
Yeah,
I can guarantee you, when I was a kid,
yeah,
there was never a line up down the street whenever they, released a posting for a security job. Okay.
yeah.
Never. There was never this.
Well, that's a good job. You can sleep. That's a good job. Security. It's well
But
paid.
but
You don't
there's
have to do much.
so many people going after every little job right now
Okay.
that I think there is. I mean, I don't even know what's going on
When was the
out
last time
there.
we applied for a job? Either one of us. What do we know?
I don't know. My daughter applied for a job and she got a couple of jobs. No, but
So,
she
so
did.
she did exactly what you did a
So what is
few
it? Nobody's
years
trying to
ago.
get jobs around here. Everybody's just lazy. Even my
You know
son
what?
has a job. He works for us, right? He's
Yeah.
making like
He's I mean,
more
he's got
money
a
than
job.
most
He makes
people.
great money. Right? So listen, there's a ton of
He's bought a
news out
GIC.
there, but I think that it's just a bunch of people complaining. I think that right now, if you want to get a job and you want to support yourself in university, you've got just as much of a chance to do it as your older siblings or parents did 20, 30 years ago.
I think you have more opportunity if you count the interweb,
And then you don't even have to work. You don't have to go to the job anymore. You can actually get a job online. If
Yeah.
you're 20 years
And
old
have the
and you
job.
don't know how to make money online, what's wrong with you? We literally gave you a phone when you were born and said, "Hey, start working now so you can figure this out 20 years later so that you can have, even my son is 12
Yeah.
and he's already at that point where he can make money online. He
Yeah.
could be on Fiverr and be doing all sorts of stuff. He does amazing work. What
Yeah.
Aiden taught him, like
Yeah.
when I watch him do this stuff now and I
It's
get him to do things
crazy.
for me, like he's amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Right. But
Yeah.
they don't want to do the stuff
But
on
he could
Fiverr.
though if he had
He
to go to school,
could.
he
Yeah.
could. He can make a little 50 US here, 50 US there. He's got the ability to do it and he would be in the right time zone.
So, but this is like, it's not just your and my kids. Like, there's
Yeah.
lots of kids that just are, everybody's spoiling their kids.
Okay.
They don't have to
So
work. They
is
don't
it
want
the
them to
state of
work.
the economy
Hmm.
or is it something else?
It's a whole bunch of things.
Right?
It's a
This
whole
is what it
bunch of
is. It's a
things.
bunch of whiners who
It's
are
a
all saying
bunch
to
of
themselves,
weenies.
I don't want to work hard and I just want my mom and dad's help and I don't want to have to pay
Yeah.
and I don't
I
want to
paid
listen.
not to fail this
I agree.
course.
Housing is out of whack, and that housing is definitely something that people are going to need to make an adjustment for. But whether it be the size of house you need, the city you want to live in, how you're going to afford it, I don't
If
know.
you own
I
it or
agree.
not. Yeah.
It outpaced out inflation for way too long, and then we're in a correction phase right now. Who knows how long it's going to last for? But hopefully, it gets to the point where the fundamentals make sense again. But as far as like living a good life, being happy, for supporting yourself, trying to get things done, there's still lots of hope for people to be able to do that. And I think the more people focus on the negative about how they're struggling and how they can't make it and how they do all those type of things, the worse they make it for themselves. Most of my conversations, I go on a lot of appointments every week with new people who are in trouble, and every other person's in trouble. And average conversation I'm having with them is, okay, you made a bad investment. Usually it was out of greed. They wanted to make quick money fast, and they had no research or anything like that behind it or any real knowledge of the asset they were buying. And then they are now struggling to make those payments. And my answer to them is, you need to make more money. So get another job. If you're retired, go back to work. Find some other way to rent out your basement, and then cut back on expenses. And reduce the expenses that you have in your daily life to be able to weather the storm and get through. And so those type of things are what people today, young people, need to do. You need to learn healthier spending habits sooner and start to really make sure that you do the right thing every single month to manage your money. Otherwise, yes, you will complain about the cost of living.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.